Fucking lovely. I'll cut that from the beginning. Don't worry.
It wasn't me. Who
Oh.
was it?
So,
Got tricked.
last time we left off,
Wasn't.
you had just returned to Phandalin after dealing with the atrocity at Conyberry, having hunted down those responsible and enacting some form of justice. You had spoken with Sildar, shared a bit of information with him, told him what you had learnt about Calgaric's apparent alliance and pact with Tiamat, and he told you of the increased activity that the Lord's Alliance had been observing of the Cult of the Dragon up and down the Sword Coast over the last couple of years. Processing this information, you would return back to Phandalin, where you rode into the village to find a bit of a crowd gathered. Quite a few of the village folk had come out to see you. They looked concerned, they looked worried. Several of the Talons gathered there in the village square to meet you. And as the crowd gathered around you, Ruri, you were tapped on the elbow by a familiar tabaxi, by your old friend Twang, telling you that he needed a word. So, does anyone have any preference on who wants to go first? We have two situations. Rogar, Grishnak, Gortrek, Kakal, as you're dismounting in the village square, stood before you. Stood in the centre of the village square is Callista Greywind, flanked by Vi and Will, talking to her mother, Linen Greywind. They look up as you approach. Teldor stands nearby with Uhai and Doran by him. Looking around, you can see the presence of the Talons is quite evident. Rogar, around the square, Donal, Ivan and Sophia, they each stand spaced around the edge, sort of between you and the crowd. But their stance, even Ivan's stern grimace, it suggests that they're there more to reassure than control. And glancing up at the walls, you can see the majority of the Talons, they do appear to be patrolling back and forth. There's quite a vigilant watch.
So proud.
So in fact, yeah, we'll start with you. So yeah, Callista looks up as you approach, breaking off the conversation with her mother. Neil looks somewhat expectantly as you draw near. Callista pulls off a sharp salute as you stop before her. Sir?
At ease. What's going on here?
And she kind of seems to gather herself for a moment, kind of drawing up her shoulders. Kind of looks back to Vi, who gives her a little nod. Sir, I'd like to report. An orc scouting party was spotted near the south wall just 9 days ago. They strayed within range. Some of them were brought down by a volley of arrows. Will, gesturing to the bowman behind her, was the ranking guardsman on watch at the time. Will steps forward. Will's a quiet lad, doesn't speak much, and he seems to avoid making eye contact, staring more at your feet than your face. He kind of steps forward and mumbles a little bit. So, "In your pardon, Lord, I'd say the orcs numbered 14 at my count. They came out of the southern foothills shortly before dawn. They fled back that way after letting loose a return volley of javelins. No casualties, though. Everyone's okay."
Good. How many did you bring down?
Callista kind of gestures to Will and steps forward again. 5, sir.
Well done.
The bodies were brought in and burned. We felt that was most appropriate.
Good. Fantastic.
Teldor... Sorry, my lord.
No. Go ahead.
Teldor took Uhai and Doran out once the sun had risen. They tracked the orcs. Teldor, just a little nod from where he stood, a little away. He says they followed the tracks toward the base of the mountain for about half a day before they found evidence of the scouts joining with a much larger force, continuing into the mountains. They felt it prudent to return rather than continue pursuing.
Good.
We've been
Good
keeping
work,
watch ever
everybody.
since.
Good. Stay vigilant.
Linen at this point does cut in. The timing does seem rather conspicuous, Rogar. Coming so soon after your sudden midnight disappearance after the Midwinter Feast.
Yes, it has much to do with it.
I'm sure. The whole village now knows of Coneyberry's fate.
Yes. Well, I don't see any way to avoid this. Gather everybody up in the town square.
Very well. I'm looking around. I believe most of them are here already.
Gather them up. Somebody do something.
Kind of Cal and Vi kind of like quickly nod and turn. Cal starts barking orders and starts calling to everyone. Come round all, come round, gather in. And you see a few Talons that were in the village square stepping off, moving down some streets, knocking on a few of the doors, telling people to come out to gather up in the village square. It takes a few minutes while people come together. While this is happening, Ruri, so you've had, as you've pulled Twang into a tight embrace, you're stood just out on the edge of the village square. He's pulled you just into the lee of the Stonehill Inn, where no one's really paying you much attention right now. Rory, I'm happy to see you. It has been too long.
Sort of look at him. He's not crying, but his eyes are quite watery. Gives him a long look, and suddenly looks quite angry and gives him a hard shove. Where the hell have you been?
It is complicated. I cannot explain right now. Later. Not much later.
Are you safe?
I am quite
Did
safe.
your family find you? Are you okay?
No, I am fine. I'm sorry I did not respond sooner. I was aware that you sent a messenger to look for me. I was busy at the time. By the time I did return to Waterdeep, I learned that you had already fled. Are you okay? You do not look harmed?
Honestly, I'm better than I've been in a while. Better, more so for seeing you.
Good. I'm glad.
Well, what brings you to Phandalin?
Business. Really. Grave business. And I will talk of that with you later. You must understand that I left Waterdeep to seek my fortune, but instead I found a purpose. And I need your help. And also, I believe that of your friends.
You know about my friends?
Yeah, many do. You made quite a name for yourself.
Yes, and entirely accidental, I assure you.
Well, nonetheless. Yes, I believe that the help also will be required. This is not something I would ask of you alone. If I could...
Of course, yes.
If I could ask you to bring your friends and meet me by the Shrine of Tymora at dusk.
I know it. I know the place well. Of course.
You should do. It's literally like 30 feet away from you right now.
I look to the right and then look back at him. Yes, I can do that.
It's actually on your left, but that's okay.
Fuck's sake.
Sorry.
Rory has trouble with that. He was homeless.
Really, am I going to have to write right and left on your hands again?
No, I can do it. Look, and I make an L with my 2 fingers. Look, I know.
Very good. Well done. Okay, well look, I'll make myself a low profile for now, but at dusk, yes?
Of course.
We'll speak more then, and I promise I will answer all of your questions.
Okay, I'll see. Stay safe, and I'll grip his forearm briefly before he goes off.
Returns the gesture. And you, my brother. Disappears into the crowd. So at this point, Your talons, they've called together townsfolk. You spot many familiar faces. Toblin and his family stood near the front. You can just see Myrna stood off to the side. Ezra stood next to her and her hand on young Abigail's shoulder. They seem to be, they seem expectant. There is a general air of concern. There's like a low muttering as things are whispered back and forth between one another. They're not panicked, but there is a tension in the air.
I kind of bark at someone to fetch me like a box or something to stand on.
As you're saying this, as you give the instruction, you have it your shoulder, and Tails stood there holding what's probably some kind of groceries crate. So do the trick, Rogar?
Yes, thank you, Teldor.
No worries, boss.
I think you need to listen to this as well.
Oh, definitely. I'd like to know what you've learned. Turns to the crowd. All right, you lots, listen up. And as a hush falls over. There's the best part of about 120 people arrayed before you now.
Okay, I get stage for it. I stand up and kind of take a look at everyone. I just kind of take it in the faces around me, looking up expectantly, kind of this position I've landed myself in. And I just hold up a hand to try and silence everybody. This land was once ruled over by the Tresendar family. They built the Imidril Manor up on the hill here. They were fair and just, as all good rulers should be. The mine was discovered, and the Phandelver Pact established. A good time. A good time. Then the orcs came. A huge roving band of orcs bringing with them a tide of blood and cruelty. The lands around where we stand now fell one by one, and eventually, so did Phandalin. The original town can be seen around us, a grim reminder of the past. The town was set upon, and its citizens fled. They fled the only place they could go, to the caverns below the manor. And a lone man, known as the Black Hawk, stood against the orcish horde to allow the citizens to flee through the secret tunnels below. That man was Aldith Tresendar, the only survivor of a once great family. He stood alone wielding this, and I pull out Talon, put it up in the air. His family weapon, Talon. His sacrifice allowed many of the townsfolk to flee, and now this weapon continues to defend his town. As many of you already know, orcs were spotted on the outer perimeter of the town, and you may have heard what happened to Conyberry. It is a travesty. We received word that Conyberry was attacked sometime before the Midwinter Festival. My companions and I left immediately to investigate. We found only one survivor. We have dealt with the animals responsible. We chased them into the foothills, and every last one of them was destroyed. There are more, however. There are more of the ones that came to look at the town and investigate and scout. They think they can wash over us like they did centuries ago. But now we have walls, we have our righteous defenders, and we have justice on our side. If they come, they will die. If they scale the walls, they will die. If they flee, they will die. The warband grows in the south. They will stop at nothing unless my companions and I stop them first. We will be traveling south as soon as we are ready to face this menace and ensure that it does no more harm to anyone. I believe in the town we have built together, in its defenders, in its rulers, and most of all in its people. I believe it should always have a town council opposed to a single leader. As such, rulership of the town will go to Halia Thornton and Quillian Oldleaf and another appointed citizen, and they will serve as the Phandalin Town Council henceforth. I also believe this town needs a prime defender, a person who will stand against the horde should the needs arise. A black hawk. Teldor, step forward.
Teldor looks suddenly stunned by what you said, but you seem to give a sideway glance to Callista, kind of questioning look, but she nods kind of feverishly, kind of gestures him. He steps up. My lord.
Kneel.
He awkwardly gets down on one knee.
I step down off the boxes. Just put my sword on one of his shoulders. I, Rogar Grimfrost, Lord of Bryn Shander, Steward of Phandalin, Commander of the Talons, hereby grant Teldor of Phandalin the command of the Talons and the title of Black Hawk. Arise, Lord Teldor.
Kind of looks up at you with disbelief, but stands and squares his shoulders.
I also believe that Talon is a symbol of Phandalin, and I get down on one knee and present the hilt to him. It is a symbol of the position, and it is now yours to wield, Teldor.
He extends his hand, shaking slightly. And as he grasps the hilt of the sword, he leans forward and whispers, barely perceptible just to you. Are you sure you know what you're doing, my lord?
Of course not. I hope you do.
And he grips the blade, grips the hilt, holds the blade before him, turns and raises it somewhat above his head, facing the crowd.
I stand and... People of Phandalin, your Black Hawk.
At first there is a murmur across the crowd. Kind of, you feel the surprise, the almost shock coming from some quarters. Teldor steps forward and lifts his chin. I appreciate this may surprise a lot of you as much as it surprises me. And all that long ago, I was your enemy, your scourge. You've all given me a chance to redeem myself, to be a better person, to remake myself. Not just me, but my friends. And I promise you, I will repay that debt with my life if need be. And I'll always value the counsel of all of my comrades most dearly. You see he gives a very meaningful look to Callista at this. Turns back to you. Thank you, my lord. And slowly at first, quietly in a few quarters, but a clap begins and a few voices call out, Teldor! And
Rory joins in very enthusiastically.
before long a cheer goes up from amongst the crowd.
I also just lean into him when he's done and just hand him a scroll that's sealed. Just say, this is for you to read. Do with it what you will, but I think if you embrace it, you can do more good in this world.
Thank you, my lord. I'll have a look at it later. You know, you're bloody mad, right?
I know.
You just knighted a bandit.
Use it wisely.
Yeah.
I can't be here forever.
I mean, you'll be coming back, right? When all this is done?
I kind of look around at everyone, Grishnak and Gotrek, and Cal and Rory. Just, I will try.
Oh, you better. I'm gonna hold you to that.
Wouldn't expect any less. Right. I think I need a drink. I just stomp off.
Okay, so the crowd begins to disperse. There's some people do still look a little bit concerned. You get the impression that they were hoping that they were going to be told that everything's over, everything's okay now. There's nothing to worry about. But other people are seeming to be quite fired up by this. They're emboldened by your words.
Get to killing, lads.
the talons particularly, look like they've got their war faces on. And as you stomp off, you can hear Telda and Callista beginning to bark a few instructions, sending people back on watch, organising patrols as the large crowd begins to disperse. Quite a few people heading into the inn. A bit of a rowdy atmosphere quickly builds up as people drinking to your name, to Teldor's name. You see Halia and Quilleen quickly go into a huddle with Linen, talking quite frantically.
Deal with it.
Where are you? So you're stomping off the tavern? You heading back to the manor? Where are you going?
I think I'll stop off and rejoin everyone else in the direction of the tavern.
Yeah. So what's everybody else doing?
I'm gonna go find Doran.
Yep. So you, Doran still stood over with Uhai.
So just go up and be like, Doran, can I have a word, please, mate?
Yeah, of course you can, Grishnak. One moment, Uhai. Kind of the stoic, stone-faced Talon just kind of nods, walks over to join some of his comrades. Doran walks a little way aside of you. Yeah, what can I do for you, mate?
Well, brass tacks to start with. I'm gonna need some dried meat. We're gonna go on the road
Okay.
quite a while. So I was just hoping you could help me sort that out at some point.
Yeah, I mean, do you want? I can go into the stores, pull you out some choice bits.
Yeah, sounds good.
When are you leaving?
I don't think it's going to be too long, to be honest. I think we'll be on the road pretty shortly, once we've agreed on a course of action. But I also wanted to thank you. I heard what you did, tracking them. That was brave. You could have got yourself killed.
Oh, you'd have done the same. We had to make sure they weren't prepping for a full assault, you know?
You did the right thing. Look, I ain't got a fancy sword to give you, or a knight or anything like that, but I just want to thank you for being a friend.
You gave me my life, mate. You could have killed me 2 years back, but you didn't. In fact, you could have killed me twice. And you didn't. I've only saved your life once. As far as I'm concerned, I still owe you.
You know, me fuck all, mate.
We'll see about that.
But I don't know if I'm coming back from this one.
You better not go getting yourself killed, Grishnak.
Well, I'll try not to, but this is some deep shit, son.
How deep? I mean, you're not planning on walking into the centre of an entire orc horde, are you? You
Well,
are, aren't you?
Like I say, I try not to get myself killed, but
Yeah, well, I've seen that look on your face before, mate. And last time I saw it, you almost did get yourself killed.
let's not bring up Waterdeep again.
You're right.
But, you know the cunt that killed my dad.
You talked about him, yeah.
Well, he's behind all of this, isn't he?
What, he's
And
out in the mountains?
well, no, he's spreading out. He's
Jesus.
building an army.
Kind of leans in close. Grishnat, look, I know what Rogar said. It's best you keep that to yourself. People here, they think they're just up against a couple hundred orcs out in the mountain. If they knew the real scope of what Rogar were talking about back there,
Yeah.
of what you're talking about.
I just
keep
wanted
this
to
one
be
quiet.
straight with you. Keep on your hat. You don't want to panic people.
Absolutely not.
But I just wanted you to know, if we don't succeed, shit might hit the fan.
Well, that's reassuring. I hope your dwarven friends, buddies over at the mine are working on some fancy toys if that ever happens.
I'm sure Gottrek's got some tricks up his sleeve.
Oh, his fingers crossed, eh? Let's hope it doesn't come to that.
But anyway, fuck all the doom and gloom. Let's go for a pint.
Sounds good to me. I'm buying. Come on. Actually, fuck that. You might not be coming back. You're buying.
You cheeky bastard.
Okay. So as you guys head into the tavern and join the rowdy crowd that's forming. Gotrek, Cal, what are you guys up to?
I don't know what we're up to. I mean, we've just witnessed a really touching.
Oh,
Did you get chills? I got chills from that. That was quite impressive.
I don't really get chills. My face is still quite warm, brother. I don't really.
Oh, right. Did you
really feel
tingle
that.
slightly? That was
It's a
quite
bit of an overly
awe-inspiring.
sexual question for a brother to ask another.
We came from the same place. It doesn't really matter, does it?
Hey, so no, I don't know what we're doing.
Aye, but there is something actually I want to do. I mean, just to
might be-
guarantee. This is quite a bit of shit that we're in, though. Is there anyone heading up to Wavico Cave around? As Guttrick's kind of like just wandering around, kind of asking people if they're heading up to Wavico Cave at all at some point.
You ask as you're asking about. Someone does stick their head up. Burly-looking chap. Simple like rough spun tunic and all that. Oi, I'll be heading out. I'll be taking some meat and mead on the morrow.
Excellent. Are you able to take? Gottrick will produce 2 letters. Give them to my cousin, Gundren. Make sure that he has the instructions of holding on to one, which is this one, and then also to give this one back to the clan of Doomfist back in Mithril Hall, please.
I'm
And
assuming he'll know what to do with them then. So this one's from the
actually-
hold, and this
Aye.
one's to go to your family.
No. Sorry. This one
This
is
one.
staying with Gundren. This
All right,
one
all right.
is gonna go off to Mithril Hall.
Right. I think I
Right.
got it. I'll make sure he gets them. No worries.
I'll get 1 second. And I'm just gonna. Oh, crap. Someone got a pen or a. No, fuck it.
I do. Of
Excellent.
taking my calligraphy tools.
Rory comes bouncing over.
Okay. So, and I will write in Dwarvish, on the one for Gundren, for the attention of Gundren, and then for the other one to go to Mithril Hall for the attention of Grandfather Doomfist.
Have you written that in common or dwarven?
Dwarven.
So the guy's now looking at him going,
Don't
he'll
worry,
be
just
able-
hand them to Gundren. It'll be fine. And
Oh, you'll take your
here-
word for it.
are you going today at all?
I'll
It is-
go in first thing in the morning.
Excellent. I will slap a gold coin straight into his hand.
With a gold coin in one hand and a goldfish in the other hand.
Yeah,
You
goldfish.
know what I meant to do with this.
Oh, that's for you. As payment for services rendered.
I'll enjoy a little snack on the cart right there.
Excellent.
Okay, yep. So thank you, my lord. I'll make sure he gets them.
I'm not a lord. As it just walks off.
Okay, so it's shortly after midday at this point.
Is Sister Gabrielli in the crowd at all?
Yeah, she would have been. I'd say that
Can I?
she stands out somewhat. She's pretty, she's the only elf in Phandalin.
I would like to make a path towards her.
Yeah. So yeah, as you make a beeline towards her, like call out as she's as the crowd is dispersing. She turns as you approach. Ah, Brother Rory. Good to see you again. We all feared the worst after a few days passed and you had returned. We all heard what happened at Coneybury. It's awful.
Yes, of course. It's
The
honestly,
poor girl.
it's.
She's been through so much.
How is she? How is Abigail? Have you seen her?
Yes, I went and spoke with Myrna the day after Rogar brought her and gave her a cursory check. I didn't want to upset the girl or make too much of a fuss. Her wounds are emotional, and they will take time to heal.
Yes, as these things. Oops.
Other than
I
that,
would ask if
she
it's
seems
not
okay.
too much trouble.
Sorry, go on.
I would ask that you watch over my absence.
Of course.
I'm sure I don't need to tell you, but the odds are quite stacked against us in this situation, particularly me. But in the event that I did not return, I would love to know that she was looked after.
As Tomura teaches us, Ruri, if the odds are stacked against you in any given situation, change the situation. Not everything has to be solved head on.
I remember reading that somewhere, and I pull out my prayer book, and I flip to the page that she wrote.
It says something to that effect, although the wording is a little bit more flowery. I don't have my book of inspiring quotes on hand right now.
That's okay. I'll hand her the book. And I say, would you keep this safe for me? Again?
You sure you're not going to need it? I think it should stay with you.
I'll
Rory.
need it. But this book was the first thing that was ever truly mine. It needs to... I would love it to be kept safe.
If you are sure, then yes, I will do this for you.
Thank you.
She takes the book and tucks it into a pocket on her rather voluminous but simple robes. Well,
I'll be meeting my brother at your shrine tonight. I was hoping to make sure that's okay with you.
yes, of course.
Thank you.
I'll see you later. She
Of course.
drifts off back to her small cottage. The small cottage that is now actually, when you first arrived at Phandalin, most of the buildings were simple story, same kind of rough stone walls and thatch roof. Her cottage hasn't changed, but a lot of the buildings around, particularly around the village square where her cottage sits, have now added extra stories as the population has grown. Her cottage suddenly looks a little bit dwarfed by its surroundings now.
She's so humble.
Gotta
Yeah.
gentrify that shit.
Property price has gone through the roof.
Kick out the poor people.
I get a sense of up with like the old man.
A little bit. No, it's not that drastic. It's just, yeah, all the buildings
She's a
immediately
modest
around her hut are now twice the size.
Give it 20 years.
Yeah, maybe. So, was there anything else particular anyone wanted to do between? I mean, Rui, I'm assuming you're going to.
Yeah. I'll go find the others, assuming at the tavern, if that's where we're.
I'm assuming that everyone is drifting towards the tavern.
Well, it's after dinner time, therefore it's drinking time.
It's after
It's 5
lunchtime.
o'clock
You don't have
somewhere.
dinner yet, but yes.
Hey.
Okay, so yeah, you're able to find everybody in the tavern, pass on the message. Was there anything else anyone wanted to do prior to dusk? If not, we can fast
We
forward.
should just have a small conversation with Rogar about what is he going to do now for armaments.
Absolutely.
Rogar,
Yes.
as great of a ceremony as that was of you giving away your blade, and you have your old blade for sure. So what are you going to switch back to your old blade?
I was thinking of using my fists. What do you think?
Right.
Don't worry.
Okay.
Fate will provide me a weapon. Or maybe you. I don't know.
You want a new weapon?
I have this, and I show the crimson blades that was provided.
Which actually was made by you, Gotrek.
Aye, it was, but still, I can do better. As he kind of looks off, it's like, I can do better.
Don't. If you want the project, I would not say no, but don't trouble yourself, friend.
How long are we going to stay in Phandalin before we have to go?
I think we should go as soon as we can, potentially tomorrow.
Yes,
Okay.
tomorrow's a good idea, actually. We have a request for a meeting.
From who? Or whom? Sorry.
From my brother Twang.
You
have a
He
brother?
came to find me.
Aye, I'm
a
surprised by
sense.
that too.
He's family. We grew up on the streets together.
Oh,
When I was taken in by the Church of Sunni, he stayed out in the field ward. He played songs and earned money from locals and tourists. And I've not seen him in years. And he found me today.
Well, I believe any friend of yours is a friend of ours. Let us go and meet with your friend, your brother.
Of course. Well, he wants to meet at dusk. He's quite on the down low, just as a person.
He's not a criminal, is he, Glory?
Well, see, it's hard. Not
Actually-
really.
Don't answer that. It's fine.
Okay. Well, see, he's not just come back for me. He's come back for us. He requested a meeting with all of us. So
why?
I don't know. He wouldn't say there's too many people around, but with what's been going on, with the information that we've just learned, with the orcs and everything, it has to be connected. I mean, I've not seen him in years, and he comes back now.
It does seem like the right moment.
Like you told me, Rogar, everything is connected.
Okay, well, connect this drink to your mouth, and then we'll go later.
Okay.
Dwarven brandy, everyone!
Oh yeah.
Yeah, boy.
Oh.
Do I need
Wow.
more constitution?
I think it's just me because I'm a lightweight.
You are a lightweight, but
You, for the first time, hold your drink quite well. You feel
Yes.
like you could take a second one.
Shut up.
does he get to roll again if he does that, though?
Yes.
If you wish.
I'm not taking a second.
Rory.
Cal,
No,
you're a
you've-
bad
I like to
influence.
drink with Rory.
You've spent enough time in the company of your friends and been drinking enough that you're, as well as your time in Waterdeep, you're starting to build up a bit more of a tolerance.
Yeah.
So, as you pass the afternoon talking with various folk in Phandalin that you've connected with over your time here, and some of you trying not to come across as too maudlin or accepting of your possible upcoming doom. And yeah, other than that, the afternoon is spent in revelry, in relaxation, in celebration. And you notice Rory looking out the window, you notice the sun beginning to set. Gather your comrades together and head outside, and just across the way you can see the Shrine of Timora, stood outside Gary Lee's hut. There isn't anyone there at the moment.
Can I do an investigation check to see who's hiding?
I'd say that would be a perception.
Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a shrine.
Ah, yes.
No, the
To the right.
the setting sun is casting some long shadows, but it's also glaring in your face as you are looking to the west. As you step out of Stonehill Inn, looking across the village square, so you kind of squinting, shielding your eyes. You can't see anyone stood by it.
Okay, everyone, just act natural.
It's natural.
I look at Godtrek and a cow and Grishnak, like,
Where's my hammer? Is there a forge nearby? That's natural, right?
I lean against the shrine, like, super casual.
So as you walk over to Shrine Rogar, as you try and casually lean against it, and you wait for a moment, feeling a little bit awkward,
Too
looking around,
casual.
thinking, where
Well,
is Twang? You hear the door of Garrity's hut open behind you. She leans out. Ah, you're all here. Please, come in.
What?
Uh.
I'll hesitantly start walking forward.
Opens the door wide, steps back for you all to enter. Rory and Rogar, you've been in here before. It's a pretty Spartan affair. It's very simple. There's a much smaller shrine to Timora against the back wall. It is literally like a small rectangular room, and like central in the back wall as you enter is this small shrine to Timora, next to which is a simple cot, a writing desk in the front corner furthest from the door, and then like a small round wooden table with rough chair where she obviously sits to eat her meals, a few cupboards spaced around it. It's a simple living space. Sat at the simple round table is Twang, and reclined somewhat casually across the bed is a halfling, a rather well-dressed halfling with very finely sculpted facial hair, like a twirly moustache and sculpted goatee, kind of cascading locks down the back of his head. Very fine-looking gentleman with a kind of bright green overcoat with you can see this red waistcoat sticking out from underneath. It's kind of trousers that billow out at the thighs before narrowing in, and these rather fine black leather boots. He's got a lot of gaudy jewellery all across him. Compared to Twang in his rough, simple traveller's clothes, and Garielli with her kind of plain priestess's robes, this halfling stands out quite a bit. Rogar, you feel like you might have seen this halfling before around the village.
Oh, yeah.
When caravans tend to come in and out, merchants' caravans, there's often a few. There'll be some strange faces in the village for a day or two. You feel like you might have seen him on a few occasions over the last 2 years, coming in and out, but never had cause to speak to him or know him. As you enter, Twang stands as you as you come in. Ah, excellent. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. All seems a little bit shady. Looks to all of you, aside from you, Rory. My name is Twang. I grew up with your friend Rory. We are like family. I thank you all for coming. Obviously, Gary Ellie, you all know. The halfling kind of sits up on the bed, kind of leaning back on his elbows a little bit. Yes, my name is Wilzin Pimlu. And kind of Gary Lee just rolls her eyes and sighs.
So, you know each other, and I'm looking between Twang and Sister Gary Ellie.
We have worked together before, although we have only met on a small handful of occasions. Really, I told you that earlier that when I left Waterdeep, I found a purpose.
I thought you meant you found a band.
No, I mean, I did, but then I found so much more. Gary Ellie and I, we are harpers.
Your
You
harpies?
play the harp.
Gary Ellie she chuckles, shakes her head. No, we are harpers. We belong to an ancient and clandestine organization, unaffiliated with any nation, that strives to maintain peace and balance across all of Faerun. I have been stationed within this region for quite some time, keeping an eye on Wave Echo Cave, on the Banshee Agatha, and on other interests in this area. Twangs nods. I am what you might call a gatherer of information. My position as a bard, traveling up and down the Sword Coast, I get to see a lot of places, meet a lot of people, gain access to a lot of places that might otherwise be out of bounds to normal folk. I see much and learn more. At this point, the halfling kind of adjusts himself a little bit on the bed, kind of reaches down to his groin and kind of scratches a little bit. I am more of what you might call a free agent. Kind of smirks. Gary Ellie sighs again and kind of with a weary tone of voice. If this is to go any further, Wilzin, we are going to need to garner trust. Please, enough with this charade. And Wilzin's shoulders kind of sag. I don't know why I ever associate with you, Gary Ellie. You spoil all of my fun. Do you know how often I get to really indulge myself like this? Fine. And he kind of raises a hand, and of all of the gaudy rings adorning his fingers, one of them is quite a plain copper band, and he just kind of rubs and twists it a little bit, and there's a shimmer as the illusion drops. Sat on the bed before you is Spoon, the goblin. Is that better?
Nice to see you again.
What's he doing here?
It's
Yes.
actually worse.
Son of a bitch.
You see what you've done, Gary Ellie? I think they much preferred Wilson. So did I.
I agree, you should have lied to us.
Want to give in his skull?
I heard that.
You were
Good.
meant to.
Twang, do you know what this goblin... Well, actually, now that I come to think of it, all he really did was break into our house, but...
And
Stole our
steal
money.
gold.
He
3
did
gold?
warn
Are you
us.
not...
He did tell us about Connieberry. If it wasn't for him, we may not have saved Abigail.
That's true.
Garrity kind of puts her hands up placatingly. I appreciate that our mutual friend here is a bit of a troublemaker.
Shitbag extraordinaire.
You're not so handsome yourself. Enough of that. He's been very useful over the last few years. There's a lot of information we've learned that might never otherwise have come to light.
So,
Didn't
he
he
working
steal
for
our
you all
spoons?
along?
Aye, he did steal our spoons.
Sorry, what was that, Grishnek?
So, he was working for you all along?
I don't work for anyone. Well, no, that's not strictly true. I work for the Gov. I don't work for any of this lot. No, the arrangement that we have with Spoon's boss is one more of mutual benefit. We share information.
And who is Spoons' boss then?
She kind of looks to Spoon and raises an eyebrow. He's like, well, don't look at me. They meet the governor when the governor's ready to meet them. And I don't go around giving his details out freely, willy-nilly to just anybody. Garrity kind of glares at Spoon for a moment, looks thoughtful. Spoon represents a group that we've come to know as the outcasts. The free and liberated, self-exiled outcasts of Greater Faerun. Thank you very much. I swear that name changes every other week. Well, I have a lot of good ideas. Anyway, they have helped us stay informed of the movements of various nefarious groups across the area. Spoon is, despite his various flaws, an excellent information gatherer, rivaling even our own agents.
Sort of look at Twang and raise an eyebrow.
I mean, I take Galeli's word on this. I have not worked with the young goblin before, but
Okay.
he seems worthy.
He's got sticky fingers.
You've got sticky cutlery, man.
You watch your mouth.
What happened to your beard, mate?
Fucking show you if you want to come outside.
Just go, shoulders on Callum. Wait, brother. No, he's mine first.
Gariel's hands up.
Leave.
It's like, peace. Peace. We're all here for the same reason.
Well, if someone would enlighten us to what that reason might be then.
Well, first things first, actually. What did you learn when you tracked down those orcs? I heard the pretty little speech you gave outside, Rogar. Very nice, very nice. So go on. What was it? What were they up to?
Grishnak, go ahead.
Right. I don't know if you're going to believe me, but they're working for Tiamat.
Garelli and Swang just nod. And Spoon raises an eyebrow. Huh.
Again, why is no one fucking surprised when we tell them this?
This is insane.
It's probably because they don't believe us.
Probably because they already fucking know and we're the last to find out.
Or that is entirely possible.
It's... At this point, I will admit, a lot of it is confirming our suspicions. But please, go on.
So, it seems that Garrick, his forces, they're bringing her treasure. We spoke to Sildar and he told us about the, was it Colour of the Dragon?
The Dragon Cult,
Aye.
yes.
Yeah. Says that they're the ones, they're involved in this as well. Trying to bring back Tiamat.
That is an Interesting conclusion. Very worrying. Was there anything else? Spoon tells us that there were many orcs in the Sword Mountains. Do we need to be concerned? Are there going to be further attacks? Are more places at risk?
Aye, probably.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, and yes.
It depends, really. They don't. This tribe is different than the others, from what I can tell. What is it? What's the name of the king or whatever? Garrick?
Yeah.
Aye.
Gary.
He's gathering loot, not really typical of orc or goblin behaviour, of to this degree anyway. But still,
That's a Tiamat thing.
Well,
aye.
the dragon
Still-
cults... Sorry, continue, Gotrek.
I don't. I fought the orcs of the north and goblins, many Arab tribes, but this is different than before.
You do notice
They
a
don't-
spoon spits on the floor when you mention the Many Arrows tribe.
Aye.
It's
I
rude
do
to
not-
spit in someone else's house.
Oh, I'm very sorry. He kind of leans over and makes a big show
No,
of
you're
wiping
not.
it with his sleeve.
Can we take him with us?
If you want him to die, sure. He may inexplicably have no head one morning.
He can ride around on my shoulder.
Oh.
Sorry, continue.
See, usually with orc leadership, there'll be a few, but a big boss. And you kill the big boss, they all then scatter, form their own little tribes, fight amongst themselves and scatter. Is there a guarantee that we can do this if we kill Garrick? Because if he's backed by Tiamat and this cult, what if they just instill someone else to take over the army or forces or whatever? We need to stop
It sounds
them
likely.
both. Well, in my personal opinion, anyway.
I don't know the extent of the connection they have with Tiamat, whether it's just him or whether there's priests or what have you. Tiamat doesn't give a shit about them.
We need to find the leadership of both. So Garrick is a definite. But what about the cult? Where do they operate? If it's next to them in the High Moors, where are they? We need to find them and eliminate them.
The cult have long been a thorn in Faerun's side. They, to the best of our knowledge, are not based in any one place. You cut off a head here, another one springs up elsewhere. The gathering of loot could be... I am reluctant to jump to conclusions. That may be my own wish not to believe that which you have concluded. The dragon cult have ever sought to sway chromatic dragons to their cause. The best way to appeal to such a creature is through offering it a great many riches. It's possible they're simply trying to recruit more dragons to their side.
So we're talking about
Sorry, go on.
an orc tribe that can then control dragons.
Control.
Well, control by loyalty. This is basically like mercenary work. The dragons will take the gold. Aye.
Make no mistake. Such even a horde as vast as Garak's, even a figure as imposing as he, could never hope to command a dragon. And the relationship that the dragon cult have ever had with the dragons allied with them has always been one of self-interest and convenience on the dragon's part. These are proud, powerful creatures. They bow to no one. Some do not even bow to Tiamat. Nevertheless, she looks to Twang. Much of my work over the last couple of years has been investigating the rapid increase in their activity. And as much as you may not wish to believe it, Sister Gaeli, the mention of Tiamat, something that previously was not a particular concern of the dragon cult, they were more interested in the creation of immortal dragons, of Dracoliches. In many of the missives that I have intercepted, there is talk of the Queen of Dragons, and they are signed off with the five-horned silver head of Tiamat. More concerning, at least to me, Rory, when I came back to Waterdeep and when I found you had fled, and I asked around, I tried to find out what had happened, to make sure you were okay. And I discovered the altercation that had forced you to leave. Those men were dragon cultists, Rory. The ones that sought to kill you.
What?
Oh God.
Rory.
And
Godric's just looking at Rory like, what did you do?
Twang.
yes,
This all has something to do with Brazila.
I know.
You know?
After I learned that, I did more asking around.
What the hell is? He just sort of puts his hands over his face.
The reason they were trying to kill you was because you were asking around, Rory. You need to be
I
more
know.
careful.
I know.
I told you.
I had to find him.
I appreciate neither of us knew this at the time. I only learned because I was trying to find out what had happened to you. Rory, Raz told you why he left.
I know.
The merchant he killed was an agent of the dragon cult.
So isn't that a good thing?
For Raz, yes. But it is an answer that gives me only more questions. The best that I could figure out, this man, he was like a middleman for the cult, an obtainer. He was using his connections, his cover as an antiquities dealer. I could not find out exactly what, but he was trying to use his contacts to find a whereabouts to obtain some form of artifact. What it was not made explicit in any of the messages I could uncover. Only alluded to. I do not know what it was he was seeking, but I think Raz did, and that is why he killed him.
But why wouldn't he tell me? Why couldn't he? Why did he just leave?
I believe because he wanted to protect you. Look what happened as soon as you tried digging around, as soon as you tried to find out what was going on. People heard you asking. People talk. Waterdeep is a big city, and many people there, they do not care. They have little in the way of morals. Someone offers them a few coins, they will tell all they know. You can't just go around asking anyone anything. You almost got killed, Ori. Though, in fairness, I found out what happened to those who tried to kill you, and, well, I'm glad it's not them.
They deserved it.
What is going on?
I'm sorry. It's I didn't leave Waterdeep because I missed you. I did miss you. I left because people find out I was trying to find my brother, my other brother, and they came after me. And now I can't go back without them knowing it's me and coming after me again.
Oh, Rory.
Ah, Rory, you dark horse.
For what it is worth, I do not believe that you are marked by the cult as a whole. You are not, from what I can gather, on their radar. At least not in the bigger picture. Yet. All of this brings me to what I have to ask you. I have a colleague, a scholar, by the name of Leosin Elantha. He has been investigating the dragon cult, as have I. He has been making, by his own admission, great discoveries. The last I heard from him, about a month back, he contacted me, very excited. Something about a great discovery, something that would blow all of this open. But he did not tell me what. I told him to return, to come back and share what he had learned with the rest of the Harpers. But he insisted that he was close, he said. He was so close that he had an opportunity to delve deeper and learn more. I think he intends to attempt to infiltrate the cult. I fear he is in over his head. I requested an extraction be sent to pull him out. But politics interfered. You see, quite some time ago, the Harpers, they were almost destroyed as a result of direct involvement. Since then they have been rebuilt, but they have doubled down on their policy of trying not to interfere as much as possible, to observe, to wait and see. I fear that this mentality will only lead to the doom of all of us. They will not act, not until they see greater reason to. And I myself, I have my own task that I must go now to carry out. But a group of you, unaffiliated, independent, you sound like you are already mean to head south to investigate these goings on. You could happen to stumble across my friend, pull him out of wherever he is before he gets in too deep, find out what he has learned, maybe bring it to light. You see Sister Garrily nodding. This would be for the benefit of all. Whatever Leosin has learned, we must find out before he gets himself killed.
So, where is this friend of yours?
He was operating in the region around Berdusk, near Baldur's Gate.
So we have to go to Baldur's Gate and find if there's a dragon cult. Group? Camp?
Maybe so. Finding them could prove tricky. They are centuries of practice at staying hidden. finding Leosin should be easier. Find him wherever he is, stop him before he gets here. Before he tries anything rash. And,
Now, I am by no means a fan of long travel. How do you expect us to get to Baldur's Gate in a rush?
I may be able to help there. I have a few favours that I can call in. The Harpers have a safe house in Burdusk. That is the chapter house, you might say, where Leosin has been based for much of his investigation. If you travel to Neverwinter with Twang, he can introduce you to a colleague of mine. He can get you to Burdusk in an instant.
We still have to take care of these orcs.
Well, seems we know where they're going. They head south. And I mean, no disrespect to any of you, but you're not going to be able to simply walk up and kill Kalgarak just like that. We need to wait for an opportunity to present itself, or to create an opportunity, but in the meantime, maybe you could do this for us. This is all part of a bigger picture, it would seem.
What does everybody think?
It sounds like a plan to save people, and it's a noble cause. I'm
And
in.
if it cuts out the travel time, could be back quickly. Make sure Phandalin is safe.
Yeah, and as much as I hate to admit it, if we go after Garrick now, it's a suicide mission.
You can say that again, mate.
Oh, are you still here?
Just giving the long stare. It's like, you fucking bitch, I'm gonna kill you.
I told you he had a fucking army around him. We're not talking
Awesome.
a couple of hundred, we're talking a few thousand. And a
You
few
see this
more.
one? I'm just gonna point to Calabre. I'm pretty sure this one, my brother here, could burn a lot of them.
You reckon you could set fire to 1,000 orcs, do you?
I reckon he could.
What about 10,000?
Aye, with a bit of help.
We're all
Probably.
close together, I'm sure it'll work.
Aye, just give them in a line. They should burn still.
You keep dreaming, mate. You keep dreaming.
And what would you suggest, Spoons, if that is your name? Where the fuck are my spoons? That's what I want to know.
They're in a safe place, don't you worry.
You fucking safe place.
Well,
What would you have us do?
I think this is as good a plan as any for the time being. Information is very useful. If that's what this
I was in
Leosin
the
has.
moment Twang said he needed.
What happens if we end up finding this cult? You can't expect us to just sit idly by and let them carry on with their business.
I mean, I understand. I suppose you'd have to use your judgment, Rogar.
I judge them all to die. Okay, good, we're in agreement.
I
At this
agree.
moment in time,
What?
at this moment in time, anywhere far away from this little fucker, I'm in.
Spoon's just nonchalantly checking his nails.
He's such a little asshole. I hate him.
I would say that the most important thing is that we get information from Leosin, learn what he has learned. It may be that... maybe you're right. Maybe they are trying to free Tiamat. Maybe their plan is something else. That is something we must find out. If their plan is to free Tiamat, then we need to know how. Only then can we try and stop them. If we can find out what the Dragon Cult's aim is, if we can thwart that, that could weaken their alliance with Kalgarak. That then makes him easier to deal with, potentially reducing his influence. Reducing his influence could reduce his... could affect his leadership over the horde that he has gathered together. You should know well, Grishnak, that to hold together such a vast amount of, shall we say, free spirits is no easy thing. Should he falter in whatever it is that he has promised them, in whatever it is that he has used to keep them in line, if he looks weak before them, if he looks unable to deliver on any promises, he could start losing his army. There are many ways to go about this. Don't all involve a suicide run. Which looks meaningfully at you, Rogar. If you come across forces of the Dragon Cult that you feel capable of dealing with, by all means. If you find yourself in a position to protect those who are threatened by them, I agree. You cannot stand idly by, but please don't do anything too reckless.
And what of Raz? What if I find him? What am I supposed to do?
Well, I suppose that depends how you find him. He may already be dead, Ori.
He's not dead.
I hope so too, but if he has gotten mixed up in this, the Dragon Cult
Everyone makes mistakes.
That I know for sure. We certainly did growing up, eh? But if you find him, if you can make sure he is safe, of course.
Right, well, I don't know about you guys, but we're not going to start this adventure now, are we? Are we going to get a night's rest? Are we going to go now? What are we going to do?
I mean, if you wish
Let's have a
to
night's rest.
accept my offer, I will have to contact my colleague in Neverwinter. I know Twang here could probably do with a night's rest. He's been travelling.
Well, we're more than happy
Non-stop.
to extend a bed to Twang.
Of course.
Spoons,
Yes.
you can fuck off. In the greatest of respects.
Wouldn't be caught dead.
Well, maybe you should stop going in people's houses when you're not invited then.
Actually, a very interesting way of saying thank you, Spoons, for coming to tell us about our dear friends in Coneyberry.
It's called knocking.
He kind of sniffs and looks away.
Shall we, how long will it take to get the preparations prepared to set out?
Well, I've already asked Doran to sort us out some rations.
Sister Gabrielle will be watching over Abigail for us, making sure she's safe.
Oh, Abigail.
And not only me. Many of us will make sure she is looked after.
Mm.
It's probably best that we travel light, I'm guessing, to get to sorry.
Yes, how
So-
exactly are we getting there from Neverwinter? You weren't clear.
My colleague, Korlef, he maintains a teleportation circle.
Ah,
It is how some of our agents are able to get around the Sword Coast quite so freely and rapidly. It'll take you to the chapter house in Burdusk, but yes, he can transport yourselves and anything that you can carry on your persons. Beyond that, I'm afraid you will have to travel light.
I look over to Gutter and say, "How heavy is Butthead?"
I don't know. I don't know how heavy Sif is either.
I mean, due
It
to the
should be
nature of how
fine.
these circles work, I suppose you could get them through.
If we're quick, it should work. I mean,
It might upset some of our colleagues at the other end.
Just a bunch of ghosts.
Our goats are very clean.
aye.
But
And the
very
fact
big,
of
Cal, very big.
aye,
Clean and
But-
big.
big and armored. I mean, that's quite intimidating as it is.
I
So
mean,
it could be useful. You never know. Would
I-
you not suggest it?
I can ask him.
That's all. That'd be
Aye.
great.
Well, you do that. If we go and get our heads down, with Twang, obviously welcome back. Have some food and prepare ourselves for tomorrow.
Very well. I will send him a message immediately. And Twang looks over you. Thank you for doing this. It is... I appreciate a lot to ask. But
Anything.
if I am right in this, if Leos Tintrui has learned something of great import, this could be what is needed to get my order to, how do you say, pull their heads out of their asses. And act.
Yeah.
We need action, but before we can convince people to action, we need evidence. This is important.
You were always good at finding evidence.
I know, right? Except for a change, I'm not the one planting it.
What?
I have so much to fill you in on. So much. But we can wait till we get to the manor.
Well, if that's all, lovely to see you as always. I've got some information to take back to the Gav.
I tell him we can't wait to meet him.
Oh, I'm sure he's looking forward to meeting you too, but that said, he does only mix with the finest of people. You're a little bit crude.
Anyway,
Can I see him?
we're only crude because of you. You know that, don't you?
No.
Of course.
Even Oscar's being quiet right now.
Don't bring me into this, brothers.
Well, goodbye, Spoons. Travel safe.
I always
Yes, I
do.
hope you don't die.
Oh,
I should be showing that to yourselves. I'm not the one walking into the dragon's mouth, so to speak.
What time is it about now?
It's probably been about half an hour, 40 minutes since dusk.
Okay. I'm going to bid adieu to everyone in the room and go over and see Abigail. She's awake.
Okay, so you're gonna head down to Myrna's. So we'll go to that.
Just quite quickly and rudely, like nod, right? Kind of. I'm kind of like.
I'm off.
I don't. Well, it's like I'm not. I don't really want to be here right now.
Irish goodbye.
Yeah, just like this business is ended.
Yep. You just kind of nod, curt goodbye, and duck out.
Rory and his new friends make me jealous. Fuck that.
Old friend.
Whatever, new friend. Shut up.
I think I'll be making likewise. So, Spoons kind of jumps off the bed, saunters over to the door. Toodles. Steps out into the night.
A pleasure.
Fucking toodles.
Love Spoons.
And Gariel just kind of looks over at you, Godric. He's not a bad soul. He's incredibly obnoxious and abrasive, but he means well.
And a thief, and a liar.
thief, a cheapskate, a
You know how I
charlatan.
feel about lying.
Twang raises an eyebrow at you, Rory.
I know, yes, I know. I'm aware of the irony.
I need to be excused.
Well,
Gotrek will just leave.
I'll make arrangements, and I will see you in the morning before you set off.
Yeah, sounds good.
Well, rest well, and again, thank you.
Well, tavern's still open for a few hours. Might as well get a few more drinks in.
Okay, so who's heading to the tavern? Who's heading elsewhere?
Well, as we could possibly be going to our deaths, I'll join Grishnak in the tavern for a few.
I certainly wouldn't mind a drink or two. It has been a long journey here.
Yeah,
Of course,
why not?
yes.
Hey,
Actually,
dwarven brandies for everyone.
You can tell us some embarrassing stories about Rory.
oh no, that won't be necessary.
Aye, it's a good idea.
Twang puts his arm
I
around your
was
shoulders, Grishnak. I have many to tell, my friend. Many.
Oh god.
Excellent.
So,
Well, I was hoping the
Gotrek is heading back
graces
to
with a song.
Christendar Manor.
so Godric's heading back to the manor, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So as most of you head off to the tavern to continue with the revelry, you get back. The rowdy revelry from earlier is still in full swing as you join in. So first we'll go to Rogar as you knock on the door of Myrna's hut. Ezra opens again. Oh, hello, Mr. Rogar. You here to see Mum?
Yes, Ezra. Please.
Mum, it's Sir Rogar.
Just,
Yeah.
just
Voice from inside. Oh, come in. Don't mind the mess. You see she's kind of got flour all down apron, seems to be in the middle of...
duck my head
Preparing
under
food.
the door frame.
It's quite low.
Hello, Mona.
Can I do for you, my lord?
I was wondering if Abigail is still awake.
Yes. Just getting washed up for dinner. You see as the young girl pats in, kind of wiping her hands dry on her simple dress. And she kind of looks up. She's like, "Oh, hello."
I get down as low as possible. Hello, Abigail. How are you?
I'm okay. A bit hungry. I know dinner will be ready soon, my dear.
Are you enjoying yourself here, at least?
I mean, sort of.
Yeah. I know a lot has happened. We made sure that I don't know what to say. I just want you to be okay. I want you to be okay with these people here.
Everyone's been very nice.
Good. I will, I'll make sure that you are all, and I look around at the room, you're all kept comfortable. You won't want for anything. I'll make sure of that.
Your mother steps in. Oh, my lord, that wouldn't be necessary, please. Work, my income is quite good. Work is flowing. Young
Well-
Emperor, he'll be of an age soon where he'll be able to start contributing.
I don't want to make, this isn't to undermine your business or your work ethic. This is insurance. For you do what you want with it, but it's more insurance for all of your futures. Abigail, I'll have something for you if you would like.
Suppose.
I go into my pack and pull out my family signet ring. This was given to me by my father, and it was given to him by his father. Please take this as a way to remember me and know that I will always be watching out for you and for this town. And I will come back when I can to make sure everybody is happy and you are okay.
Are you going to kill more orcs?
If that needs to happen, we will. We want to make sure that people are safe. We do not revel in the actions that we must take. Sometimes we must do things we do not want to do, but they need to be done.
She kind of nods, a serious look on her face, and looks at the ring that you've placed in her hand. It's enormous in her hand.
Yeah, I cup my hand underneath hers, and I then cup my other hand over the top, and I just close my eyes and say a silent prayer. I don't know if this is going to, mechanically, I don't know if this is going to do anything. I don't care. I think it's what Rogar would do. He's going to expend every spell slot, every lay on hands, every channel divinity, every divine sense, everything that he's got, and pour it into this ring. And silent prayer. And Bahamut. And watch over this girl, watch over this family. Mark them for safety and for greatness. I give everything that I have.
Do me a religion check.
My favorite.
Oh, yeah.
The least religious, but oh, fucking hell, okay, fair enough.
Oh, yeah.
Like the least religious person.
Because you kind of focus and concentrate on this, on the ring, on this prayer, as you picture Abigail and everyone that you've worked alongside over the last couple of years in this village. And after a moment, you hear a voice come back to you. I will look over them, as I look over all innocence in this world. Go with my blessing, Rogar, and know that they have it too.
Let go of my hands and nod, Mona. Thank you, Mona.
Of course, Rogar. We'll look after her, don't worry. Raise her
If
well.
you need anything, talk to the council, talk to Teldor, talk to Gorman. And if you need to get out, you go through the manor, go through the tunnels, just be safe.
Ezra perks up. I know the tunnels. Me and Carp used to play there before the bandits came.
Oh, did you now?
Yeah.
Well, Ezra, I need you to make sure that you remember where to go, and you take them there if we need to go, okay?
We will. Although, it's often locked up since your grumpy dwarf friend built a door over it.
Bah! Between you and me, I'll get that door down, don't worry.
See you.
And I bid everyone adieu.
As you
Leave.
get to the door, just as you're about to leave, Abigail, come out for me. I'm still going to be an adventurer one day, like you.
I turn around slowly. I bet you are, Abigail. I bet you are.
You remember that day when you first met her?
Yeah.
Before everything happened, and she had gave you that war face.
Mm.
That that little child screwing up their face in what they thought was the best approximation of being fearsome, of being intimidating. Now you just see this kind of implacable, resolute expression on this little 7-year-old's face. There's a steel in those eyes.
You will be a fine adventurer. I will come back and we can do some training.
Promise?
Oh, God.
Give her a dagger.
I
Ignore me.
I promise.
Good. And nothing bad can happen to you, because you promised.
I look at Myrna.
She's got slightly... You see, she's slightly teared up, but is holding it together. You be safe now, Sir Rogar.
You too, Lady Abigail. Leave as quickly as possible. Get all these emotions off me.
Was there anywhere else you wanted to go, or...?
Ah, man.
Yep.
Fuck that.
Gotrek,
Go cry in a corner.
as you get back to the manor, is there anything particular that you wanted to do there?
Tidy up the forge, basically pack everything away, make sure everything's
Yeah.
got a proper place, lock everything up, chests, cupboards, tools are in everywhere, ready for the long haul of possibly not coming back for a while.
Yep.
And then, because also with the rage that he is feeling from Spoons, he's going to take his hammer outside into the garden, find a big rock, and just poof, and expend the charge for splash damage.
Doing a
signal
shockwave.
Yeah, just like poof.
There's a flash of lightning as this... as this shock of lightning comes out from your hammer and crashes along the ground, not just through the stone that you cracked, but also into a nearby tree that quickly suddenly explodes in splinters.
Oh, I needed that. Right, let's go get pissed.
I would say as you go back inside to finish off tidying up and grab the last couple of bits, you hear not so much a commotion, but you hear kind of the slamming of a chest. You hear the rummaging around as you pass Oscar's room.
Gonna just knock on the door. Brother,
Aye?
what are you doing?
Give me a minute. After a moment, you hear a shuffling, the door opens and Oscar stood before you. He's in all of his travelling gear. The room is pretty bare now. He's got his rucksack gathered, large heavy rucksack gathered on the table behind him. Oh, it's you, brother.
Aye. What's all this then? Are you packing early?
There's no sense
Or-
being coy. I'm going home.
Why, brother? I thought this is what we both wanted, to be with Calibri and
No,
look
brother.
after him.
I wanted fun times, an adventure. I wanted to drink and make merry. This is all too heavy. Orc hordes and dragon gods. This isn't what I signed up for. No. I've had enough. Going back to Mittle Hall. Going back to my wife. And the rest of our family.
Are you sure that's what you want?
Aye, brother. This is not the life for me.
Gonna go in for a hug with Oscar.
Hugs you back.
But you may be a massive pain in the ass, but you are my brother, and I wish you good fortune. Bear hug.
Aye, I'll keep the home fires burning, Oscar. Oscar? Gotrek. I'm Oscar. Look, you get
Aye,
me all,
you are.
Get me all confused. Kind of
Just
wipes his nose a little and
let grandfather know what's going on, though.
I will.
Everything. Reinforce the point as much as you can. He should be receiving a letter from me soon. Try not to be too much of a bit of a, you know, you can be a bit in the face, brother. And I will look out for you when I return, if I return.
Aye.
Hopefully I return.
Don't do anything stupid, Gotrek.
Ha ha! Never do.
And keep an eye on Cal.
Always.
Make sure he doesn't burn down any more inns.
I knew it was him! The truth comes
Finally!
out! The truth comes out! Calibre! Oh,
So, with that, he hugs you again.
oh, see him
finishes
out.
packing up. Yep. As you walk back down into the village square with him. As you get to the tavern, you turn and he shakes your hand one last time and disappears off on his way back to Mithral Hall. Did you know?
Good
No,
enough.
sorry. Before he leaves, as you sort of say to him, "Oh yes, brother. I almost forgot." And he turns around and reaches and pulls something out the top of his bag. Didn't feel
This
right
isn't
to
another.
take- No. Didn't feel like taking these with me. He's holding out Thardan's boots, the boots of springing and striding. I know you didn't want me to take these. Well, I won't leave with them. Make sure you
I'll give them back to our cousins. Don't worry.
please do.
Have a safe trip and be safe.
He strides off out, whistling a jaunty tune as he goes. Don't mind me, brother. I'm off to make lots of babies.
Of course you are. I feel sorry for your wife.
And that's the last time I have to try and do that fucking accent. At least for a while.
Yeah, at least until next week.
Fuck you. So, as you go in and join the rest of them in the tavern. Yeah, it was...
Just gonna take a seat. Look, Oscar's gone.
Where?
Yeah.
He's gone home.
Is he okay?
Aye, he said this life's not for him. Which is fair enough. He never was much of a fighter. But still, I don't
Yes, of
think
course.
with the way things are going, I don't really I wouldn't want to say to him do this. He's too much of a soft soul for this kind of job.
I was going to say coward, but
Aye, but very much so, but he is a soft soul. He's better off at home.
I suppose he has got a wife to think about.
Aye, he does. Tell you what, lads, I'll put bias around and we'll drink for Oscar's happiness and health. And that'll be us done. And carry on drinking for the rest of us.
Sounds like a lovely idea.
I will toss another gold piece to the bar.
Yep.
To keep the drinks coming.
As you get around in and sit and toast to Oscar's health and prosperity, and then return to the general revelry, trying not to focus too much on what's to come. If there's anything else anyone wants to do over the course of the night, or we can progress to the next morning.
Twang,
Yes, already.
would you play a song for us?
But of course, yes. He pulls out
Get a big smile on my face.
pulls his mandolin out from his pack. And I can't play, and certainly can't sing in
That's okay.
Twang's
That's okay.
accent, but he goes on to play what's actually quite a a somewhat melancholy tune at first that speaks of loss, of loss, of searching for solace, and then halfway through suddenly kicks up tempo as he begins to tap his foot on the floor and kind of gets people stamping along with it, beating the tables in time, and becomes like a jauntier song about the finding of friendship, of companions, and of appreciating beauty in the world and the joy of being alive, and helps lift the spirits in the tavern once again. As he finishes the song and looks over to you. I could not help but notice, Rory. You carry an instrument yourself these days.
Oh, of course. Do you remember that club that you gave me all those years ago?
The one for beating fools around the head with, yes.
Well, I made a deal, and I gave up my strength. I gave up my fight in one way to do this. And then I'm gonna play him a song.
Yeah,
I can't. I've got my really bad headset microphone on, so
that's
you can't
quite
hear
alright.
me. But it is. It's called Where is it? The Cave of Demons and the Dead, and it's the story of us clearing Wave Echo Cave monsters there.
You know, a lot of the folk in the tavern get quite riled up by this. You know, it's obviously a sing of something they know quite well.
Yeah.
Like an important part in their recent history. You get a lot of cheers as the song progresses, and roars of applause, because that's what applause does. It roars as the song comes to a close, and you can see Twang clearly moved and impressed. Rory, you are a wonderful player. Would you care to join me in a duet?
Of course. It's about time.
So what follows is essentially much akin to dueling banjos. It's more like dueling mandolins, as you both have a mandolin off. Do me a performance check.
Nice.
As you play, you kind of start to attempts to outperform each other. Not in a unfriendly way, but in kind of a playful, you know, trying to one up each other's solos. Yeah. Twang is good, but you know, it's kind of like listening to Johnny Cash compared to Jimi Hendrix. It's like his playing is tight. It is it's good, but it's sort of somewhat plain compared to your own almost experimental riffs. I'm not a musician.
It's okay, mate.
Strings,
Don't worry.
humbucker, wah wah pedal.
Ooh.
These are words.
It's alright, mate. Don't fret about it.
Oh, whammy!
So yeah, as both of you kind of take turns playing songs throughout the night, and the mood in the tavern is very upbeat, very warm and positive. It's with slightly ringing heads that you will return to the mansion later that night to get some rest.
I've got to say, boys, while it might not be the best of circumstances, I can't lie. I'm quite excited to go out on the road with you again.
Aye, a new adventure.
It's been too long.
It has.
I'm scared.
Aye, I think we all are, but
It is natural to be scared, really. It is a good thing. It means you will be careful.
Yes, you know me. Careful, careful, careful.
Let's not tell them about how careful you were in that cave, then.
Yeah, let's not.
What is this?
Maybe another time.
Very well. Well, yeah, we have a long day ahead of us tomorrow. You should get some rest.
I'll find the nicest guest room to put Twang in.
Yeah, fun. One of the ones with a double bed.
Yeah, man.
So, as morning comes, as you finish packing together your parts, shortly after dawn, Krishnak Doran delivered 2 weeks' worth of travel rations for the 5 of you. You want to mark that in the group loot. Who's got the bag of holding?
I think Cal demanded it.
I thought no, Rory was
No,
supposed
no.
to be the bag man.
I can be the bag man.
Yeah,
I
Rory-
said I was going to have it, and then I was overpowered by. In fact, to be honest, I thought Grishnak had it.
No. I do
Let's go
remember
like it be the
Cal
bag
having
then.
it,
Wait.
actually.
Why have I got it in my? Is it player handouts?
I think I put it in everyone's handout so everyone can see it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought
It should
I
be
thought
visible
Rory
to
was
everyone.
bag man.
I'll be the bag man.
Rory is bag
Well, I mean, I
man.
thought Cal was bag
Actually,
man,
did
but
Rory take it off me when I exerted all of my power and energy into the big ball of fire?
That's right. he
Yeah, I
did.
must have.
That's what happened. So yeah,
Cool,
so
it's in the
Rory's
inventory.
currently holding it, but yeah, anyone can edit that. It's just there so that you
Oh, as well, can we get the numbers? Oh wait, no. Did we give the gold back?
you didn't. It's all still in there.
We give the gold back.
Okay. Are you
Who?
bothering counting it, or are you just who are you giving it back to?
The council.
Abigail.
The
Yeah.
council. The council.
Abigail's a millionaire.
Council.
So you want to
Yeah,
you want to
give
leave it
it
to the
to
council? Okay.
Yes.
Are you going to
It's
count it,
not.
or are you not interested in that? You just
We're gonna leave them to count.
Hold
it.
on. Didn't I rolled a dank perception check, and you told us.
investigation check when you wanted to when you were searching and it helped you find the bag. There was you would have needed to take more time to actually count it out while you were in the cave, but it's something that you could do before going to bed or anything. It's up to you. I can give you a breakdown of what was in it, or you can just hand it all over to the council and trust that they'll get it back to the.
Let's just hand it over, boys.
So
I
you-
want-
you-
Maybe we hand it over in the morning when everyone's not so drunk. So
Yeah, that might be a
Oh,
good
yeah,
idea.
I thought that's what the idea was.
So this morning, before you leave, you go down to the Townmaster's Hall, where you quickly find that it seems that Linen and Colleen Halia and Colleen have promptly added Linen as the third member of their Phandalin Council. They are sat around the table discussing, and with much paperwork before them. Kind of look up as you enter, and there's a bit of a slightly sour expression on Halia's face as you enter, Rokar. Ah, our esteemed benefactor. Thank you so much for this responsibility.
You were already on the council. What's your problem?
It's true, we were already doing most of the work. Still, a little bit of warning might have been nice.
Well, I didn't really
Quitting.
get much opportunity.
Quilly looks up. Don't you mind her? She's just a little bitter that she couldn't join in their revelry last night.
There's no reason she couldn't
Bitter.
have.
Bitter because I was kept awake whilst trying to sleep by all of the revelry, but never mind. Never mind. We're here now.
There'll be
Was there
plenty of time for non-revelry in the future, don't worry.
There better be. Is there something you needed?
Yes. A gesture to whoever's got the big old bag of money.
I got the bag of money.
So,
I guess I'll just turn it upside down.
I was going to say turn it inside out, because you don't know exactly how much is in there. It's probably the easiest way to get it all out.
Mhm.
So
Uh,
if you
Throw it
Great.
on the floor.
Oh,
stand
dear.
back from the table, turn it inside out, and this huge, immediate kind of fountain of coins, mostly copper, just comes pouring out. Quite quickly, you realise you're going to have to step back and keep stepping back as it continues to pour out more and more and more until there's quite a large mound of coins and gemstones in the centre of the floor. And all
Well,
three
this
of
is
them
awkward.
reacted with surprise at first, and then shock, and then kind of standing up and looking with just amazement at this continued fountain of wealth pouring out of the bag. Linen speaks up. What on earth is this, Rogar? What have you...
This, we believe, is the funds taken from Cornyberry and any other settlements the orcs may have attacked. It is blood money, but
I see.
it can be put back into the town and help people and any refugees who might come.
I'll notify Sildar. He'll know who to talk to. I'm not sure what their plans are for the remains of Coneyberry.
Perhaps it can be put to use rebuilding it, I don't know.
Maybe so. I'll let him know. Sure, we have enough on our plate here. We'll let Neverwinter take responsibility for this, but thank you.
There's also the matter of my the funds I've been providing the town personally. Half of my share in Wave Echo Cave will now go directly to the coffers of Phandalin. I trust you will put the money to good use.
Yes. Yes, no worry there. I'm sure it'll go towards the wages and equipment for the Talons, if nothing else. I think we might need a few more.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Rogar, and good luck. Good luck, Master Rogar.
You too.
Stay safe. I look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you.
Don't leave it too long. Halia kind of looks up, grunts.
Classic Halia. So much chemistry.
What a dynamic. So, other logistical factors. Are you taking the goats?
Well, are
Do
we
we
gonna?
We can't teleport the goats.
Well, we can. If Critical Role can do it, so can we.
It's
What's that?
possible. What is this critical role you speak of? It's possible.
Alex's
I mean, basically,
joke.
the way it works is that the teleportation circuit will open up a gate, I suppose you might call it, which will remain open for a limited period of time, and you've got to just quickly pass through the gate before it closes.
Right.
It would be big enough to fit the goats through. It's just potentially the logistics.
How are we getting there? Because if we're not taking our mounts, are we just quite literally going to walk to Neverwinter? Because I thought speed was of as necessary. So I thought we bolt it on the mounts. We then pay for someone to either stable them there, or we get them sent.
I know a guy.
Okay. Or we get them sent back to Phandalin, so when we come back to Phandalin again, we can pick them up there.
I mean, it's your call. If you want to take them with you, you can do.
I've got a Pokemon mount, so I'm good.
I mean, I'm as fast as my mount, so I don't even know.
Yeah, but this is traveling time, guys. Wouldn't it be quicker?
Yeah, well, at least I'll get to rest my feet.
Exactly.
Yeah, there is that. So we take the mounts to Neverwinter, and then we see from there what we do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Get your friend that you know to maybe take him back to Phandalin.
Oh, I don't know if you do that.
And we pay for someone to take him back to Phandalin.
Yeah, okay, yeah. People love money.
So Gary Ellie comes to meet you as you gather down in the village square. A few people seem to have turned out to wave you off, as you weren't exactly all that secretive about your planning. It's probably making plans in a tavern.
Yeah.
And she comes over and greets you. Well, I spoke to my colleague, Corfel. I did mispronounce his name last night, but it happens sometimes. A lot was happening. Yes, he's... I've told him to expect you. Twang will accompany you to Neverwinter, I hope. Twang nods. He'll be able to confirm your identity to Corfell. I mentioned the mounts. He grumbled a little. He didn't say no. So, take that as you will. Anyway, thank you for doing this. We owe you a lot.
Not at all.
I wish there was
I think
more I could give you now other than my blessing, but know that Timora smiles upon you.
boys.
I think we're ready.
Hi, hoo.
Timora, goddess
Uh,
of
mecha-
adventures
Timora.
and of luck.
The
Mechanically-
goddess of luck, Cal.
Ooh. Mechanically, I'd like to get a missive or some such to Gundren to kind of make official my transference of wealth between the town and between Myrna and Abigail.
Okay, so we can say that
Just hand wave
during the
it.
night,
yeah.
you know, pen a short letter explaining.
Yeah.
Asking around in the morning, anyone who's heading that way, you know, you're quite familiar with the comings and goings of the supply wagons to and from Wave Echo Cave, and a burly chap, simple rough spun tunic, does speak up. I'm headed there now, taking some meat and mead, and your dwarven friend actually already gave me some letters to
I was going to say.
so I'd be more than happy to deliver yours as well.
Yes, please hand this to Gundren.
I don't have to read any dwarven runes or anything, do I?
No, it's written in my best common.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna read your letter. I would never dream to. Just your dwarven friend confused the hell out of me. I'll tell you that much.
He has that effect on people, don't worry.
Or, well, I'll see it's delivered. Don't you worry.
Thank you.
So, without much further kerfuffle,
Ah,
you set off to Neverwinter. It takes
it
you.
begins.
Let me quickly bring up my file on trip times. Phandalin 2. Yeah, it is a few days' travel up to Neverwinter. About 5 days to be precise. You make good time. I'd say with your mounts, you're going at a fast pace.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I would say going at a fast pace, taking the opportunity to gallop at least an hour a day. I'd say you can shave that down to 3 days. Okay. Bring us
I guess
to-
I'll slow down so I don't break up.
They're flying
Sorry.
overhead.
Can't catch me.
I'm just sort
Okay,
of explaining why there's a wave wyvern to twang. Like,
So you arrive in Neverwinter on the. So yeah, on the morning of your. I'll say your third day brings you to a few miles away from Neverwinter. So the next morning, riding into the city itself, Twang navigates you through the streets. Rogue, I'm assuming that you've dismissed Taraxes for the time being.
Yes, I will have to. Yeah, there's no-
So you will need to use to recast the spell
yeah, that's fine.
at the other end to resummon him.
No problem.
The rest of you carefully leading the 3 giant goats and the 1 giant boar through the rather crowded streets. You do get a few pissed off looks from people trying to go about their day as they all have to stand aside for the large creatures. Some of these streets are not so wide. And the streets that Twang takes you down are increasingly narrow as you weave your way into almost an alley rather than a street. And there is a simple, slightly battered, very faded sign hanging outside a small building that says Corfell's Curios. Inside, there's a small cluttered shop. It smells very heavily of incense. There are shelves filled with wares adorning every wall, and larger items hanging from the ceiling. You see, buried at the back of the shop, there's a small counter behind which sits an elderly elf. His long silvery hair is hanging loosely and it frames his face. His faded robes, they looked like they were once fine, but they're now spotted with splotches and fraying at the edges. As he sees you enter, he's like, "Ah, customers." He rises, spreads his arm wide, and gives a bit of a mock bow. And kind of stands there, slightly like hunched, leaning forward, with his hands clasped before him. "So, what can I interest you in today?"
Transportation?
Transportation? I'm not sure.
Maybe?
At this point, Twang steps forward. It is me, Kofel. We are here for business, not pleasure, I'm afraid. At that moment, Corfel's stance changes immediately. He suddenly stands upright. There's no sign of the stoop that he had a moment before in his hands. His arms now cross in front of him as he stands at his full height. "Ah, so you're Garielli's friends, then? Well, I suppose you'll be wanting to get underway? I don't suppose I could persuade you to buy anything, could I?"
What have you got?
Oh wow, you actually do want to buy something.
Depends on the wares, good sir. If they're good stock.
Well, he sort of looks a bit nervous as he glances around. I mean, looking around, you do get the impression that a lot of the stuff he sells here is kind of junk. But a few bits do stand out. You see, on a low shelf near his counter, there's a round shield, not too big, more kind of like a buckler size, and it's inlaid with gold, like a flame-like pattern. Hanging on the far wall is a longsword, quite distinctive. It's got an almost like a barbed pattern where the blade meets the crossguard, and it's engraved with what looks like a holy symbol. There is a cloak hanging that looks, it's like a dark green, but the colour almost kind of ripples and shimmers across it. You spot some dark, almost tar blackened hide armour that's set on a bit of a wonky mannequin near the door. Hanging from the ceiling, suspended by two bits of rope that rolled up. There's a large carpet hanging from the ceiling, two ropes that are tied around each end. There's some very elaborate embroidery on it. You also notice in the counter, the counter's got like this glass front, and on one of the shelves within it are various wrapped scrolls, and on a lower shelf, glass vials with different colour liquids in them. You recognise immediately several that appear to be potions of healings, but there's a few others that you don't recognise.
So you have some fine stock.
Well, I've got a few things here and there. I won't lie, the shop's mostly cover, really. But sometimes I do come across things of interest.
What's the carpet up on the ceiling?
That, my friends, that is a carpet of flying. Yes, bit of a masterwork item, that one. Created by the human artificer, Weirdo.
See again?
Weirdo. Yes, I know. It's an odd
Weird
name.
dude.
Yes.
Weird dude. Weird dude.
Weirdo.
It's a whole new world.
Weeaboo. Right.
That's a pretty weird name.
That is very weird.
I've met
Okay.
weirder in my time. Oh, you take 12 psychic damage, Rogar.
Classic.
Fucking Disney references in my game.
I was going to say there was a golden gold vibe earlier when someone said something about "thank you for being a friend."
I don't know that one, so you're safe.
What about that shield?
Ah, yes, the shield. nothing too fancy. It's wrought with a simple enchantment that just gives it that little extra bit of defense. It's mechanically, it's a +1 shield.
So it doesn't like double as a flamethrower.
I'm afraid not. No. It's just a pretty design, but the magic is quite potent.
I mean, to be fair, Carl, you double as a flamethrower, so...
Yeah, I know, but can you imagine both of us going off at once? No, I don't want it.
Can I discern the holy symbol on that longsword?
Make a religion check.
Oh, my favourite.
Guidance.
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 Eh?
I mean, if you announce, yeah, you could. I'll allow guidance on this.
I'll be like, what's
Oh.
that holy symbol?
Oh no!
Oh no!
Roll well, Rogar. Roll well.
Oh my god, why can't I find religion? Oh
What?
shit.
Oh,
It's not familiar to you. It's not.
It's
what you think.
Tiamat.
Obviously, this is
Good,
go-
No. That's not. Oh, I can show you. I can show you the symbol of Tiamat if you've not seen it.
It's fine.
Rogar does know the symbol of Tiamat.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the longsword? Oh,
It's yes, it's a good sword. Again, it's magically enchanted to be just that bit more effective. Yes, that's all.
Can Gotrek try and discern the religious
Yeah,
symbol?
you can do a religion check.
Guidance on myself.
oh.
Fuck's sake.
I feel like
Yeah.
maybe I should go as well. Just saying.
Oh,
Okay,
Where's guidance?
okay.
fucking hell!
Where's my guidance gone?
I just
You
really
learn
wanted
it.
to roll. I've not rolled fuck all
Why?
yet.
Why is my bless there? Why is it now blessed instead of guidance?
Guidance should be further down on your sheet.
Ah, there it is. Right. Okay.
That bless is at your terrible roll. Ah,
Oh.
bless.
Yeah. Oh, bless.
Oh, we got a 1. Bless him.
Ah,
Yeah.
bless.
Yeah. That's 2 natural ones actually.
Yeah,
That's quite
beautiful.
impressive.
Beautiful.
So that's a solid 11. And can I guidance? Might as well a natural 20.
You can't get a natural 20 on a guidance.
No,
So
but I mean like
it's
no,
getting that far.
Have
no
I got
guidance.
that
Sorry.
my religious check?
Yeah.
I would say you can apply guidance to one of the checks,
Okay.
and that would have been Rogar's.
So we don't need guidance anyway, because I just rocked up. Basically,
Yeah,
waved all the way
obviously
around
that's
and dropped
that.
a nat 20.
I like the
You
idea
like
that you learn everything.
Ah,
Don't tell me. Don't tell
I
anyone.
win. I win.
You just won D&D.
Yeah, I'm all of the wins.
How much for the sword?
You wish to buy it? 1,000 gold.
Ooh.
What does the enchantment do?
It just makes it more effective in combat. That's all I
No,
promise.
please. If you
No.
allow me, can I have a look at it?
You want to try and identify?
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
I promise you it's not necessary. I've already ascertained everything about it.
Identify. Warm.
Okay.
Don't trust him. He smells fishy about it.
All right, I'll allow it. He does look a bit nervous as you cast a spell. It is a sword of vengeance.
Oh.
So, it is a +1 longsword. So, +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with it. It is cursed.
Yeah, there's the clincher.
As long as you you have to attune to the sword to use it, to benefit from it. Once attuned to it, the curse extends to you. As long as you remain cursed, you are unwilling to part with the sword, keeping it on your person at all times. When attuned to that weapon, you have disadvantage on attack rolls made with this weapon, with weapons other than it. While the sword is on your person, you must succeed on a DC 15 Wisdom save whenever you take damage in combat. On a failed save, you must attack the creature that damaged you until you drop to 0 hit points, or it does, or until you can't reach the creature to make a melee attack against it.
So it's basically a sword of exhaustance.
God damn, that's like there's no upside
So
to
just
that.
this guy then just out of character a second. This
Yeah.
guy's effectively the fucking devil from Rick and Morty, isn't he? He's just got shit in this shop that's gonna kill us.
I mean, you don't know that. It's just.
Has he got a
maybe
monkey
that's
hand?
One thing. You can look
Yeah.
around. You don't find a monkey hand.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk. Are we gonna buy that fucking carpet? How much is the carpet?
The carpet. I'm
The-
not sure you could afford the carpet.
Hey, whoa. Let's talk.
I couldn't let it go for anything less than 12,000.
We cannot afford the carpet.
Well, let me. So wait, you tried selling us just now a sword that, if one of us actually had used it, would make us go crazy.
I mean, it doesn't make you go crazy. It just compels you to
Kill things.
things that attempt to hurt you.
So if
anything,
someone
you could say
bumps
it's
into
a
you,
very efficient
that's
weapon.
right. So if someone bumps into you accidentally, are you then compelled to stab him?
700 gold.
You're a bad man.
700 gold. What for the carpet? That's a steal. We'll
For the
take
sword. For the sword.
it. No,
500.
no.
How about I take the sword off your hands and don't tell everyone you're selling cursed items?
As you can clearly see, I am not selling cursed items.
No, you're
thing is-
giving the
Yeah,
cursed item away.
I haven't been able to shift this item for over 100 years.
Exactly.
Persuasion check, Rogar.
Woohoo. Persuasion? 18.
100 gold. I have to recoup my losses somehow. Look, I didn't know what it was when I bought it. Now I just have it taking up space. Damn thing's a pain in the ass.
Don't even know if it's worth it.
You lied to us, Rogar. That's not allowed.
I
It's not
didn't
allowed.
lie. I didn't tell you everything.
That's basically a lie.
Well,
What about the shield? What does that do?
yeah, it's just more effective than your standard shield. It's
Inside.
bolstered with simple enhancing. You can insight, yeah. Go ahead. Doesn't appear to be lying.
Okay, fair enough.
It's
Right.
Yeah.
What about the cloak? You got that green one.
cloak of elven kind. Not many of those in the world. Very popular items.
Turn you into an elf. Don't do it, Kontrak.
I don't think I'd like that.
What about the armor?
It helps.
That's a bit wonky.
The hide armor of resistance. Simple hide armor, but yes, gives the wearer a certain degree of resistance to acid damage.
That
Very
would have come in
situational.
handy a little while ago.
Well, hindsight is 20/20, they do say.
What about these potions that you have? What can you tell us about those?
Well, as you can see, I have several healing tinctures available. Sorry, I just punched my microphone. You can see he appears to have 4 potions of greater healing and 5 regular healing potions. And these ones, a little bit special. Get some add. This one here, it's a potion of climbing. That one there is a potion of diminution. Makes you smaller. That there
Interesting.
is a love filter, banned in certain places, so be careful where you use it and who you use it on. And we have here a potion of invisibility. I don't think I need to
Well-
tell you what that one does.
We might need that potion of
Now that Oscar's gone, we could fucking do with that.
Yeah, how much is that?
180 gold.
Fucking hell.
It's 50 gold.
Cursed
I cast
item!
I cast resistance on him. How much now?
Resistance.
It's just it's like bless, except it's a D4 onto saving throws.
It improves your saving throws.
Yeah, I'm using it on him.
Why?
And then, okay, how much is it now?
It's still 180 gold. I would appreciate if you don't cast spells on me in my own shop.
Okay.
So, Twang,
Yes.
can we just have a word?
Yes, of course.
Is this person involved in your little group? Because he seems to be very keen to make a profit out of us. and not allow us to buy things for a sensible rate. I can make those potions cheaper if I had the time, a lot cheaper as well.
Well, you are
And I
welcome
know
to do so.
convenience, and
The, many of our agents, they run fronts like this. It is not only to conceal their and our activities, but also helps to generate income for our order.
Okay, well, I think it's worth pointing out that we're putting our necks on the line and we're not asking for any payment for this.
I mean, that is true. Goffel, they
You don't
are
need paying.
essentially... They are kind of on Harper business. And keeps his arm crossed. Really? Because from what Garael said, this was definitely off the record. He makes a point. This is not a sanctioned job by any means.
I'm bored of this.
Hey,
Don't buy anything from him.
It remains the same that we're risking our necks for your boy.
Fuck it.
We
let's
don't
just
get
do it.
anything out of it.
I'll
At
just
very
buy the
least,
potion.
you could at very least you could give us some healing potions.
Give?
Yes.
How about this? You buy all of them, I'll give you a cut price.
Sounds fair. Price in total for the healing potions?
Let's say 150 gold for the 5 regular healing potions. And
Fair.
shall we say 400 for the 4 greater healing?
So 550 gold for all of them.
Seems like a pretty good deal to me.
Do you want to split it? 5 ways?
Oh, we've got the money in our adventurers
Oh yeah, we do have the
fund.
money in the adventurers fund.
So yeah,
Yeah, okay, we can do that.
Yep, so he eagerly takes out all of the healing potions.
What about if we sell him some of the gems and stuff that we've still got in the sparkly loot?
Like the garnet and the malachite and stuff.
Yeah, there's like signet rings
Well,
and malachite.
we've
and
got-
garnet.
we've still got the 3 diamonds. So because the platinum rings
We need
didn't.
those.
Yeah.
Do we?
Yeah, hold on to the
Yeah, we
diamonds in
need
case
those.
someone
Yeah.
dies.
Revivify.
Because I know Gotrek wanted the platinum rings.
Is that for the...
Or were we over
Spell.
that idea?
I don't know if we still want to do that idea.
I remember
fuck it
someone
then.
at one point was talking about the warding bond spell.
Yeah, that was that.
The platinum
spell.
rings
Spell.
do
Yeah.
serve as the material component for that.
They're not overly expensive though. So
No.
Yeah, it's given us a good
gold.
deal.
You are saving a fair bit of gold.
yeah, they're not. Yeah, let's just pay for them.
No.
I
Group
already
loot,
took off
which
group loot.
yeah, I was gonna say you already done. So yeah, let's do that. That's cool.
Yeah.
So extra gold.
We'll
add
deal with distribution of potions when we get to the other side.
5 healing potions and 4 greater healing potions.
Have we
Lovely.
bought the backpack of many pockets with us? I.e., bag
I
of holding?
assume that you're bringing the bag of holding with you.
Yeah.
And
the bag
Rory,
of
did you
holding.
say you were buying the potion of visibility?
Yeah, I probably should.
Yeah, that's 180.
Group
gold
lead
on
that as
one.
well.
How much, sorry?
180 for the potion of visibility.
180. Okay, I'll do that group loot as well.
Looks back to you, Cal. You're sure I can't tempt you with the shield? It's a very good shield.
What price
1,500
going
gold pieces.
to fuck?
You're a fucking scammer, man.
Yep.
Scammer?
Yep.
It's the going rate. You won't find one cheaper.
I suggest you equip it.
Bollocks,
so
I
when
can
you
make
stack it
one
on the thing,
better.
You've got the extra.
Why are you working with
Protection.
people, Twang? They're very rude.
Because you lot won't go and do it yourself.
Well, my hands are tied on this one.
Right. Come
How-
on.
How long has it been since I was in Neverwinter?
About what day are we on? It's the 14th, 17th. Just under 2 weeks.
Okay, yeah, no worries. Okay, let's go.
Twitchy bum time. Let's go.
Very well. I suppose you'll be wanting to use the teleportation circle then.
Aye, wait, don't we need to sort out transport for the getting the goats back, or are we actually taking them?
Ah, yes. Garely did mention something about some goats.
And the boar,
Can you-
don't forget that.
Of course, Moonin.
Didn't mention the
Moonin is
boar.
quite temperamental at the moment.
Well, it might be a bit of a squeeze getting them down into the basement. They can't come through the shop. You'll have to take them around the back.
Aye, but can we arrange for them to go back to Phandalin, or what?
That's on you. That's none of my business.
That's what I'm asking the group. So,
Should we take them? Are you saying that we can teleport them with us, like safely?
I mean, it's total pain in the arse, but yes.
No. Okay. So we can take them with us then. We don't need to.
all right, then,
Unless
let's
you
take
fear
them
for
with
their
us.
safety, Gotrek.
I always fear for everyone's safety.
Of course.
Right, well, I'll go and open the basement access around the back. You want to go and bring them round? They better behave themselves while they're inside. There's a lot of delicate items down there. I don't want them breaking. With that,
I
he
promise nothing.
turns and heads into the back of the store. If a couple of you want to go and, well, those of you with
Yeah.
mounts want to go lead them round.
I'll, because I can cast speak with animals as a ritual.
You can.
So I'm gonna have a word with the mounts and tell them to be on the best behaviour.
Yep. So, yeah, you actually have very little difficulty navigating them through the very narrow side alley round to the back of the shop as he's thrown open they're kind of like the double door hatches that you often get on pubs and such for going down into cellars. And there's a staircase leading down that is barely big enough to fit them through. It's a bit of a squeeze, but with Grishnak's help, we're able to get them to like lower their head and kind of lower their profile a bit as they awkwardly make their way down. Moonin has a little bit of a harder time. He's not as sure-footed on steps as the goats are, but you are able to get them down there.
I'm just in whatever bar speak. I'm just like, come on in, big lad. Get yourself down.
So to all of you, it sounds like Grishnak's just grunting at Moonin, but it seems to be doing the trick.
To be fair, it's probably the first time these guys have actually seen me do.
It's the first usage of it, yeah. Well,
First time.
He's finally gone mad.
it's a good usage of it. You don't have to make an animal handling check to get him down the stairs.
All right. Enough of that shade.
Look, convincing goats to do a suicide charge against a mob of orcs is an entirely
told you it was
different
silly.
matter.
I prefaced it with it being silly, you know?
So, as you get down and he's preparing, the runes of this teleportation circle already set up, and he seems to be preparing the final parts of the ritual to activate it. Well, I can't say that they're going to be too pleased on the other end. You'll want to speak to Harrell. He's in charge of the chapter house in Burdusk. Anyway, I'm sure I'm not getting paid for this either. No one seems to care about that.
Well,
You just
you've
got
just
a
got
healthy amount
paid.
of gold out of us.
Got ripped off is what happened, but anyway.
Right, let's go.
So he finishes the
before-
ritual, and the kind of these sparks of blue energy kick up from the runes and creates this shimmering portal before you. And he turns around quickly. Right, come on, through the gate. Hurry up! You've only got a few seconds. Go.
Go, run.
Go.
Quickly hurry yourself through, and immediately,
Go.
who's in the front?
I'll go first.
So Rogar, you step through first.
I will go second.
And as
With
soon as you
step-
step through, Rogar, you find yourself in quite a tight, confined space, surrounded by... You almost feel like you're in a storeroom, where barrels and crates have been moved aside to make space to expose this teleportation circle. Before you is a middle-aged human woman with quite a stern expression on her face. You're immediately reminded of Halia, standing there with arms crossed expectantly. as you come through. You get to see her eyes suddenly widen in shock a second before you feel the large form of Sif smash into your back, send you catapulting forward. You barely have time to react before the rest of the party, Cal with Butthead, Rory hurrying through Ramsey, and then finally bring up the rear, Grishnak with the large, bristly, smelly form of Moonin come piling through as you all collapse in this pile of humanoid and beast. You hear this lady protests coming from underneath your prone form.
Omnipod
Rogar.
centipede.
God damn it, will you get off of me? What the hell is going on here?
Sorry.
Yeah, she pulls herself out and stands and starts brushing herself down. God damn it, Corfell said nothing about bringing a menagerie with you. What is this?
It's not a menagerie, it's just a boar. What's the problem?
And
The boar and three giant goats.
Yes.
Fiends of it all, the mess that is made. Come on,
they are well behaved.
Come on, get them out of here. Come on.
Godric fluffs.
And she opens a...
Good boy.
The dwarves, however, are not well behaved.
That's
She
very.
opens the door and hurries you and starts hurrying you all out into a wider, more open room. Simple wood floors, a few tables at the side, and a couple of people who are sat in there suddenly stand up and kind of look in shock at this little parade of large animals that comes traipsing out, and an elderly male halfling comes bustling up to you. Well, what is going on here? What is all this? Are you the ones from Neverwinter?
Yes, are you Harold?
I am. Harold Toscobble, at your service.
Lovely to meet you.
Yeah, and you. Now I'll ask again, what the bloody hell is going on with all these animals?
Well, we were told to come quickly, so we brought our steeds.
I see. Very well. Well, look, yeah, I'll get some of the lads to open up the back doors and get them out that way. So, I wasn't told much about why you're here, but you're looking for Leosin, I understand. Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, he was here a few days ago. He headed to Greenest. It's next town over. About 4 days' travel. He was, yes, he seemed rather excited. Kept saying that there wasn't enough much time.
Well, that's very ominous.
Yes. Well, if there's anything else that we can help you with, Gary has called in a very old favour. Just an elf to remember a debt. Otherwise... Look, I don't mean to be rude, but we have quite a lot of work to be getting on with here, and... Well, you're making a bit of a scene.
Bloody hell. I love how everyone's acting like they're doing us a fucking favour.
My apologies. But this is all a bit much, gestures to the animals.
Yes, we should get them out anyway. Get them in the fresh air.
I'll just go turn over to the animals and just say, come on then, let's be having you.
So, as you'll begin to fire out, is that first things first. Should have had this page open. We are almost at the end of what I wanted to get us through. So as you come out into Burdusk, it is it's quite early morning here. The town sits right on the edge of the River Chernthar in the Sunset Vale. I probably pronounced that wrong. Kionthar. It's quite a bustling town. It's a bit of a trade hub, bit of a centre point, similar to Tribor. Its location on the river means a lot of barges come to and fro. So there's quite a lot of bustling activity. No one really looks at you twice as you usher these animals out into the street. And as you do, Harold turns to you as you're leaving. So, anything else we can do for you? I'm assuming you're prepared for travel.
Yes, I think we've got rations and everything, guys. Is there anything that we need?
Do we go through the same procedure here and see if there's anything good worth taking?
What, you want to go on a shopping trip?
Oh, maybe this end is a little cheaper than the other.
I mean, we could do that on the way
Harold
back.
just kind of laughs, like a short shop. Ah!
I think time is of the essence.
I think we should start looking already.
Yeah, Grey Nest.
Right, well,
Onwards.
then you'll want to take the western gate, and when the road forks, take the one heading southwest. It's about 4 days' travel, maybe 3 at a fast pace, maybe less. Depends how quickly you guys go.
Oh, we go fast.
Gotta go fast.
Just waiting for that.
Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Very well.
Twang, are you coming with us?
That's a point. Twang did not come through the portal with you.
Wait a minute.
Oh no.
Twang had sorry, no, I should have made that one clearer. Twang had business up in the north that he had to attend to, which is the main reason why he needed you guys to come south.
Son of a bitch, you didn't say goodbye again.
That was my mistake. We'll say that you had time for a quick hug.
Okay.
And well wishing.
While everyone was shouting, "Go, go, go!"
I was waiting for Rory to have his Khan moment there.
Yes, no. As Corfel was hurrying you through, did quickly pull you in. It's like, good luck, Rory. Stay safe, and please, once
Stay
you
safe.
get in touch with me as soon as you've found Leosin, as soon as you've learned.
I will. Just be there this time.
I will do my best, Rory. I'm sorry. So, that was my bad. So back
That's okay.
to the present. So you're heading out to Green Nest.
Indeed.
So what travel pace are you going for? Normal, fast, careful?
Normal?
No,
Let's go
no.
average, yeah. New
Yeah.
terrain.
I'll take a normal pace. So I'd say then, yeah, I'd say it would take you probably about 3 days to get to Green Nest. If there's anything you wanted to do in that time, or if you wanted to just kind of usual kind of chatter,
Got mad bants.
don't feel compelled to have to RP every bit of travel. It's up to you guys.
Mm.
I appreciate that we're just past 11, so we'll need to wrap up shortly.
I got nothing.
Yeah, I've got nothing.
No, so just usual banter. All right then. So, yeah, for the next 3 days, you travel along a road that winds lazily across the rolling grasslands of the green fields. Aptly named, it's a very flat. Well, no, it's a fairly flat, lush landscape. There are low, rolling hills and rises here and there, but it's much compared to the area around Phandalin and Coneybury. It's a much more kind of plains than hills. In fact, I am remiss. We have a map that I completely forgot about. Actually, no, yeah, I also gave the wrong direction, so no, you would have taken the southern gate, and then southwest, much further down, about there, which I would have known if I'd been looking
Oh,
at the
wow.
damn thing. You do know you're actually very close to Ariabor, interestingly enough. If you remember when that one came up earlier, like several sessions ago. So yeah, you travel across the lazily winding road. On your third day of travelling, sundown is approaching. When you top a rise, and you see the town of Greenest just a few short miles away. But instead of the pleasant, welcoming town you expected, you see columns of black smoke rising from burning buildings. Running figures that are little more than dots at this distance. And as you take in this view, as you feel that familiar sense of dread sinking in your chest once again, you feel this sudden, incredible downthrust of wind, of turbulence as a huge shadow passes across you. Looking up, a dark winged shape flies over you, wheeling low over the keep that rises above the centre of the town, as you make out the form of a very large blue dragon. And that's where we'll wrap up this week's session.
Shit. You son of a bitch.
End on a
Oh my
cliffhanger.
God.
Why not? Welcome to Greenest.
Great. Not again.
I can smell the tyranny. Oh, that was good.
I get to use my armor. Woo!
Potentially. It's a very
Well, I
big
mean, I
dragon.
better hope I don't, because either way.
I would say, I mean, you all remember Venom Fang?
Yeah.
This dragon's about 3 times the size.
That means it's 3 times the bitch.